Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage, and today we're going to be having a look at Bitcoin. Let's get into the price action and see what's going on. So primarily what I'm still looking for is this potential to come down one more time here, where we're forming a B wave to the upside, and we're going to see one more continuation to the downside here. Looking for this support zone of this 26,590, and it can potentially come all the way down towards 21,987 at a maximum that I'd want to see. So this is still a viable option here. What I'm looking for on given the current count here is that this is potentially A, B, and C. And we're looking for this possibility of coming down towards this lower range of this 26,000 area. So there are a couple of ways of interpreting this. Basically, we can also argue that from further back here, we have a flat correction, in which case this could actually be a wave 2 or a B wave location on this low. The problem with that is we haven't had the moves to the upside that I was wanting to see here. This move up in particularly this area here is very choppy, so it's not really fitting into that idea. So rather I am thinking that potentially we still have this as a C wave to come to the downside here. Now, there's a couple of ways we can look at this move to the downside as well, and one of them is taking the A wave into this point here, in which case we'd be looking at this potentially as a flat correction to the upside. This could then mean that either this is, a completed move here, and we're going to look for the C breakdown from here. The problem is it does look like we're forming some kind of a triangle in here. So that wouldn't really fit into the idea of having another five-wave structure down. So this is the problem I have with that count currently, is that, if this is a wave one here, we don't really have good structure here because of the fact that this is looking to be a triangle. It is possible this could develop into something else. As always, we could start to see some subdivisions here because we haven't managed to take this high of this 29,472, these highs here of this 29,596, and this high of this 28,881. So because of that, it's always possible we could be setting up something like this, and then we get some additional structures in here, which could then look to actually push us down. And this has just actually been A, B, and C to the upside here. And it's basically completed, probably rather WXY. But yeah, basically the idea would be that this correction would have completed into this high. But now we need to see more information, to say that's what's playing out. Really, until we actually break this low of this 27,238, we need to be a little bit careful, because what we could still see here is, like I said, there's a couple of ways of reading this move. This could still be A, this could be B, and then, we could get something like this as the next wave, or this could actually be W, this is X, and then this would be A, B, and then C. In which case, a zone I'd look to actually potentially be targeting out would either be the 786, which would bring us up towards this 30,087, to this zone here of this 30,359. A substantial break above this and consolidating would indicate that we are potentially looking to break up higher within this area. And that could then mean that either this B wave is becoming an extended B wave, in which case what we could see is something like this, where this becomes A, we get a B and a C, or alternatively, we could start to look to break up from this point. So there's nothing really indicating it at the moment, and primarily I'm still looking for more downside to come here. So one thing that I'm still not written off here is the idea of having that bigger flat correction, where we are looking at something like this, where we actually complete into this low here. And then what we're looking for here is basically an A wave to the upside, and then we're still forming this B wave. So this B wave potentially could come back down towards this zone of this 27,125 area. And if this is the case, then what this could mean is that this move here is just the A wave. We go to B wave, potentially as a triangle here again, basically A, B, with C, D, and E. The problem is it wouldn't be completed at this point unless it was a lot smaller than I'm looking at it here. And that would basically mean that this would be A, B, this would be C into here, this would be D, and then E would be completed already. And it would be much smaller towards the end of this triangle, something like this. But we wouldn't get confirmation of that until we actually start to break down and take out some of these lows, like this 28,900, 28,091. What I'd want to see here for confirmation that this is completed here is actually looking for this to start to break down in a bigger way. Now, I was looking for that possibility of looking at this as a 1, 2 coming down for this 3. So this is invalidated. But potentially within here, we could still have some extension that hasn't played out yet. So I'm just actually going to remove this from the screen now because it's no longer valid. Um, but what I'd want to see is, a deeper break to the downside. For as long as we consolidate above this point and above and below this point, it could be that we are actually still within a triangle where this is A, B. We could be forming something like this for a C wave, a D wave, and an E wave, and then we look to break down. The key thing within this is if we're treating this as a triangle, as in this B wave triangle, we shouldn't cross this zone of this 29,890 area. And really what we'd be looking to do is consolidate between these points and then look to break down. There is always the possibility this could be something like this, W, X, and Y, in which case we come down a little bit lower here. Now, if that's the case, what it could mean is that we have a triangle, something like this. And let me just turn this other count off here, just to make it a bit clearer. So either it would mean that, potentially we're still within something like a B wave here, where actually this would be A, B, and C. If that was the case, I'd be potentially looking for another drop down towards this 28,561 area for that B wave. I can actually just measure this off here for a more accurate zone. 28,449 would be 1 to 1. So if we get a three-wave drop here, this would bring us into the zone of this 28,449. But really, primarily what I'm looking for is continuation down. Now, if we do manage to hold this low point here of this B wave, which is at this 28,890, it is possible we could still be within a C wave here, where basically we're looking at this as an A. This is potentially a B wave here, and we're looking for that C wave to the upside. So I've got some areas on here which are potentially interesting zones. If this is the case, what we could be potentially looking for here is this 29,540 at a 0.618. This could be an area we look to actually test out here. If it is going to get that high where this becomes A, B, and C, and then we come up here, form a D wave again and an E wave. So really what I want to see here is how we react off this level. If we continue to consolidate here, it's possible this could still be within a bigger triangle. If, however, we fail to keep taking this trend line here, if we do move up again, so if we did move back up here one more time and we fail to take this trend line, I'd be looking for something like this. And then basically looking for an additional 2 touch points and then looking to break down from that point. Like I said, it is possible within here we could have a smaller triangle at the end here where this is actually C into here. This is D and E, but it's always, you always got to be careful saying that you have these things completed, especially with triangles, because they can evolve quite quickly. It is possible this could still be, just within a B wave, and this is A, B, and then we get another push to the upside here as a C, then another three-wave move, and then a break to the downside. So this is what I'm looking for primarily. I want to see if we actually take this high though of this 30,045, that would invalidate this potential. And then what I would be looking for is those higher rejection zones. Um, Basically looking for this 30,359 to this 30,087 level. We can see here, the higher one, the 0.854 would actually bring us back into these highs. The 786 would actually bring us back into these lows here. So I'd want to see how we react off of that zone. If we want to talk about the potential of actually a breakout here, it wouldn't be very clean currently. And like I said before, we can potentially count this, as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is an extended fifth wave. But typically it's a third wave that extends. It doesn't break any rules. But what we want to see is actually a move above 32,246 for more confirmation of that. If we do move up here, as this is a B, and a C, that 1 to 1 actually brings us here to this 30,334 area as well. So that ties in with that little zone that we talked about. That would also be a move back into the top of this channel, and that could potentially then signal be a point where we look for rejection and look to break down. But obviously, as long as we continue to set higher lows here, we can look for that potential. We are still setting lower highs though as well, so we need to be aware of that. Yeah, this could start to break down and take these lows out, in which case then we're setting lower highs. So yeah, lower highs, lower lows, and then that could be giving us that first indication that we're going to start to trend down here. So the key thing here is if we do start to break down, um, I'm looking at it in two ways. Basically, we're still looking for that possibility of a bigger break to the downside here. If we do break down towards the zone of this 25,353, this would be tying us up for that potential of looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. The problem is this triangle wouldn't fit, so it would mean that these subwaves would have to start extending out here, and we'd have to see something like this playing out to get us down into these zones. But yeah, it's still got a long way to go to get there. So basically, we'd have to just see how this reacts down here. The problem is with it being choppy like this, it is difficult to read. A five-wave structure, we'd actually want to see a bigger. So if we were looking at this as a 1 and a 2, basically we'd have to see a move down to 23,506 for confirmation of that as a bigger move here. So that would be, what we have to look out for on the bigger on the bigger scale here, basically, looking for that potential of a bigger break to the downside here. But I am still looking for this potential here where we're actually still looking for a C wave down. So if we get something like this, where we come actually down, sweep these lows again, and then look to move up in a five-way move. What I would be cautious of is moving up into this 31,706 to this 30,530, because that could actually indicate to us that, within the structure here, we have this as a bigger A wave, a B wave as a bigger flat here now. That would mean that we had a flat correction in the B wave, and then basically looking for, the C wave to the upside and then looking for, continuation down in another five-wave move, which could look to actually bring us down towards this 26,286. So this is what we just got to be a little bit careful of within this. It is very choppy. I want to see which way this breaks. If this breaks to the downside, primarily that target is this 27,125. If it breaks down deeper, I'll be looking out for that possibility of coming to this lower range here of this between this 26,942 and this 26,211 as another potential target area as this for the C wave. But really, we want to avoid coming down past that zone of that of this 1618 here at this 25,349. Really, anywhere in this red box would be a typical area for a B wave if this is going to be a B and C to the upside. So we just need to keep an eye on those levels. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join, as well as that you'll find affiliate links to both Primace BT and BYBIT down there. Both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.